and welcome to the program. Top on our news at this hour, the Western African nation of Guinea has plunged into deeper political instability. A unit of military has seized power, declared a coup in the region, closed the borders and abrogated the constitution. After hours of unleashing violence in and around the presidential palace, the military detained President Alpha Condé and have now appeared on state television to reassure the citizens.
L'unité nationale et internationale, que l'intégrité physique et morale de l'ancien président n'est pas engagée. Nous avons pris toutes les mesures pour qu'il ait accès à des soins de santé, également qu'il soit en contact avec ses médecins. Tout se passera bien. Au moment venu, on fera des communiqués. Les ministres sortants.
After the detention of the president, visuals on your screen show the Guinean special forces surrounding the presidential palace. The soldiers in the West African nation detained Condé post hours of heavy gunfire. However, the defense ministry said an attack on the presidential palace by mutinous forces had been put down. Earlier, a video surfaced showing the president in a room surrounded by army special forces. For hours, Condé's whereabouts were unknown. Sources close to military had said that the president was taken to an undisclosed location. After hours of unrest and president's detention, the military announced on state television that the government had been dissolved in an apparent coup d'etat. An authenticated video statement announcing the dissolution of the government was also released. Sources say that the man visible in the video led an elite National Army unit behind an uprising against Guinean President Alpha Condé. The mutinous soldiers have vowed to restore democracy and gave themselves a name. They're called the National Committee of Gathering and Development. A nationwide curfew has been declared until further notice. Along with this, reports say that the military is also set to replace all governors and prefects with soldiers that will be governing or convening a meeting of cabinet ministers and other top officials today. Military have cited massive mismanagement as the reason behind the military takeover. Guinea, one of the world's poorest countries, despite boasting significant mineral resources, has long been beset by political instability. For those frustrated by last year's constitutional change that allowed President Alpha Condé to run for a third term, news of military takeover has been warmly welcomed. Crowds of opposition supporters and activists have taken to the streets of Conakry to celebrate. The recent spate in military takeovers, especially in the African nation, has left the world shocked. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the coup in a tweet and called for Condé's immediate release. The U.S. State Department also raised concerns over the events that unfolded, saying in a statement that rebels must forego violence and any efforts not supported by the Constitution and stand by the rule of law. The African Union bloc condemned the military takeover and called on the body's Peace and Security Council to meet urgently. The Economic Community of West African States has demanded a return to constitutional order in Guinea and threatened to impose sanctions. Our correspondent Nabil Ahmed joins us live from Accra, Ghana. Nabil, thank you very much for joining us at this hour. The military has claimed that the deposed President Alpha Condé is safe and unharmed. Do we know about his current status and whereabouts?
Well, President Alpha Condé, his whereabouts is actually unknown at the moment, but then the military who did the takeover on Sunday have actually detained him, and his whereabouts are not, it's exactly not known at the moment, and information surrounding where exactly the military is keeping him is scanty, but we know that he is actually under detention.
The UN and African Union have condemned the coup d'etat. Have neighboring West African countries or other African leaders spoken about the incident?
Indeed, the international community, especially the African Union, the UN, have all been condemning the coup in Guinea. And here in Ghana, Ghana's president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has also condemned the coup. He is actually the current chairman of the ECOWAS sub-region, that's the Economic Community of West African States, and he has actually threatened sanctions against Guinea. It was not too long ago when we had similar coup, attacks in neighboring Mali, and an Economic Community of West African States emergency meeting was held here in the capital Accra to discuss the insecurity within the sub-region. And for this to also happen in Guinea is quite a worrying situation for the entire region, looking at the fact that the region has been trying hard to do well in terms of its democracy. And Guinea, for instance, has held on to democracy for a couple of years now, only for this military takeover. So it sends kind of a wrong signal to the sub-region as to whether the democracy is not really being practiced very well, and then that has raised concerns for the military to launch these coups every now and then. So it's quite a worrying situation for a lot of the countries in West Africa.
Ahmed, before I let you go, what's next for Guinea? Reports suggest that the latest incident has dipped the poor nation into a further economic crisis. Being the supply of aluminum, the prices are said to have soared or dipped. Can you confirm this?
Indeed, we are learning that because, you know, Guinea is the largest exporter of bauxite, and this is used to produce aluminum and finally aluminium. So with this military takeover in Guinea, all supply of the bauxite has been halted. We know that the leader of this coup, Colonel Doumbouya, has actually blocked all land and air borders, so movements have been restricted. So definitely we know that the supply of this bauxite is not going to be reaching other countries. So indeed, the price of aluminium is said to really hike because of this bauxite that the supply has actually been curtailed at the moment. But we know that the military has said they'll be having a meeting in the next few hours with the government and the ministers to look at the transition to power, and after that then we can know whether the borders would be open for business to continue in Guinea. But then already we know that all the international communities have actually condemned this coup, and it's unclear if they'll be willing to work with this military who have taken over the rule of Guinea.
Live from Accra, Ghana, thank you very much, Habil Ahmed, for talking to us.